maybe you're not hungry, but you're just looking forward to make something that's going to make you feel warm today. Maybe you did it yesterday and you have the leftovers today. I find that if I make anything tomato-based, the next day it tastes even better.
Oh, for sure.
I made meat sauce last night. It's going to be real good
Pasta
tonight.
in particular is always better
Roula
the second day.
doesn't seem like Sam and Kevin and myself, we look more like pot roast type people.
I'm not a pot roast girl.
I can't see Roula making pot roast. I don't know why, because pot roast is awesome. You got carrots and potatoes.
I think it's a real American meal, though. I didn't grow up
Well, you're
eating
American.
pot roast. No, but I'm Greek. I'm Greek American.
Well, that's your.
I'm first generation Greek American, so all the food in my house was like legit Greek food. If we were going to cook at home,
My wife's Iranian, and
Like,
she
I
still
can-
likes pot roast.
I've never had. I don't
Used
think
to kebabs and stuff. I don't like
I
it.
don't think I've ever made pot roast, and I'm gonna guess I don't think my parents ever made pot roast.
You need to change that then. Make it.
Is pot roast like
Chuck roast, whatever.
It's got the little string around it.
Okay, it's not ground
I
up.
didn't do the string.
The pot roast, you don't string
Okay.
it?
No, it's just like a big old chunk of meat.
A top round or an eye round. He was talking about Chuck. If you're a little on the low end.
Is that something you also
I
put in the
do
slow
like the
cooker?
chuck.
It doesn't have to be on the low end, Kevin.
Yeah,
If
it's
it's the
slow,
prime.
slow cooker, potatoes,
Chuck. Okay.
carrots, celery. I personally am. I don't really like that because I feel like the meat's always really, really dry.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Which
Doesn't
one?
like braise, like a beef bourguignon or something?
I guess if you would
we can shred
splurge
it with
and
a
get
fork.
not a chuck, you would get more expensive meat. Then I
Yeah.
think you would be okay.
Okay.
But I'm a weirdo. Like sometimes I just don't like meat. So that isn't like I would really want to make. It's a loaded baked potato crock pot.
Oh, tell me that this one. I need to have this in my life.
It is the best thing ever. But I was like, I don't have any water at
No
my house.
protein in
Yeah,
there.
where's the protein?
The protein is the bacon that I'm gonna make.
There you
There's
go.
bacon. There's
Bacon for dinner.
cream cheese, or no, is it sour cream?
I'll make
I
a
think it's
BLT
sour
then.
cream. It's
Probably both.
potatoes. Yeah,
Okay.
and then
Smell bacon.
to make it low fat, you do like low fat
There ain't no low
evaporated
fat, nothing in that
evaporated
name.
milk.
No.
What?
No.
Bacon and evaporated milk?
Yes.
This sounds revolting.
So wait, tell me.
It's so good.
This is awful.
I'm following you, Sam.
Okay,
I'm following you.
hold
So
on.
what?
Let me get the rest
You're
of
going to
it.
put the potatoes in a slow cooker with
Everything.
evaporated milk,
Yes.
bacon,
Yes.
cheese.
Hold on, let me-
I guess you
What kind of
garnish with
potatoes?
chives later. It's like Yukon Golds or
you
red
can,
potatoes.
Yes, it's
Red potatoes
the
are great.
Yukon Gold ones.
Okay.
And yeah. Oh my gosh. Tell
Can
me.
I do a semi-homemade
It's
shortcut?
called skinny crock pot.
Baked
Baked
soup.
potato. Yeah.
Oh, it's a soup.
It's a soup. Sorry.
Oh, you said like a dip or something, or
Yeah.
just like
Oh,
a.
did I? My bad.
Yeah, I felt like it was
Sorry.
like if
No,
you
no,
do
no,
a
it's a soup.
shortcut with those powdered
It's a soup.
potatoes.
I feel like if I eat that, I'm going to be on the pot.
No
Why
kidding.
would you take me on the pot for this?
That
There's
looks like a lot
nothing
of
bad
bacon.
in it. No, it's like 8 or 6 slices
why
of
they call it
bacon
pot
that you put on
roast.
top if you want
Okay.
to. How do you say that? Yukon?
Yukon Gold.
Yukon.
Shut up. Yukon Gold potatoes.
22.
Eric, I want some of them Yukon potatoes.
Yellow onion. I'm pushing pass.
Push pass, girl. Just keep
Sodium
on.
chicken stock reduced. So that's where you kind of do like the low cut.
Okay,
the low
reduced
fat.
sodium
Low fat
chicken
evaporated
broth.
milk, cream cheese.
So it's basically
cheddar
a soup
cheese.
that's
It's
kind
a
of thinner
soup.
than thicker.
Is it
Yeah.
milk?
Okay, when I was a
Now-
child, I have a very
It's so
real
good.
memory of my dad, because my dad never picked us up from school. My dad picked us up from St. Thomas because it was like a freeze day or something. Like they decided to cut school in half that day, saying, we probably shouldn't have y'all come in today. So my dad picked us up. I remember it was freezing cold, and we went home, and my dad made beef stew. What's going on, Santiago? I'm talking here. Do you want to say
You
something?
want some beef
too?
stew?
Since I'm holding him.
You want some Yukon? What is it?
What's that?
Yukon?
Because it's YOKON.
Wouldn't
You
it be
know, why
ironic
you,
if he says the
KON?
word right before you do?
Santi,
Mommy,
can you
it's
say Yukon?
Yukon.
Santi, can you say Yukon? Anyway, my dad picked us up and he went home and he made a beef stew, and I have such a vivid memory of him like chopping up the beef and the potatoes and stuff. And I think that's like the only time my dad ever made beef stew, and it was so good. I've never tried to recreate
Try
that.
a pot roast.
A pot
I
roast.
don't
Now,
think
not
I'd ever
everybody
like
wants
it.
meat. Now,
The crock pot?
are you guys, how do you feel about, like for me, soup, the only time I have soup is when I'm sick. But you can make some delicious soups out there, too. I mean, my God, a good bowl of hot tortilla soup.
I made
on a
Loaded
day
baked
like this.
potato soup. I'm telling
I've
you.
got lemon soup.
I made Irish stew yesterday.
Ooh.
And
what's-
that's with
what's the-
That was just his
lamb.
whiskey. It's
Oh.
Jameson. That's all it is.
Jameson Irish stew.
Jameson.
That's all it was.
Some concentrated milk and a Yukon.
He started crying looking at your stories,
You talk
Kevin.
about soup.
He's looking over at you and he's like starting to curl his lip.
He
He's
said,
about to
"Don't
start
you make
crying.
fun of my mama? I'll
top-
poop
I
on
think
you."
it's time for milk.
The top
Yeah.
popular winter winter soups, clam chowder is number 1.
Clam chowder.
Clam chowder.
Yes, I love
Now listen,
clam chowder.
I will buy that.
Chicken noodle number 2.
Or, I will have it at family restaurant, but I will not make it in my house. Even though clams are very easy to work with because
Sam,
they
why
have
do you say this
canned
one?
clams in the brine
All right,
at the
wait.
store.
I said that one.
Hold on. Minestrone.
Nope.
It's spelled minestrone, but it's
Minestrone?
pronounced
No, it's minestrone.
minestrone.
It's minestrone.
Minestrone.
It's minestrone.
But you got to do this thing with your hands. You know,
Minestrone.
Minestrone.
How do you say it?
What else is another
Minestrone.
big soup?
Minestrone.
Another winter soup that's very
some
popular.
tortilla soup is good here in Houston.
You know who has the best in town?
Chicken
If you're
tortilla.
I mean, if you want to get the best, Central Market, and I think HEB carries that same brand, their tortilla soup is to die for. And I mean, they're usually sold out by
I still
like
like the
noon.
Madeline's soup.
Oh, the
the
tomato
tomato basil.
bisque.
Yeah, I just
Tomato
get a big
basil.
old French.
It's so good.
I just dip it in the whole thing. Eat the whole
I was
thing.
like, man, this
Yeah.
is really good. And then I looked at the cup of soup is like 120 grams
Well,
of
of
fat.
course, there's heavy cream in
Yeah.
it. Popular
Make it-
winter soups go like this: chili, then broccoli cheddar soup, which I can't eat that one because I just feel like you're eating cheese.
Smells like
It's
Yeah.
so
Sipping
good.
cheese.
I love that.
Yeah.
Panera has
Manhattan
it really
clam
good.
chowder is the tomato-based chowder, not the
Ugh.
white one. Corn chowder, delicious. Yes. French onion soup. I made that once in my life from scratch. Takes a while, but it's very good.
All right.
New England lobster bisque.
Ooh, lobster bisque.
Lobster bisque.
Lobster
I
bisque.
thought Costco's got lobster
Number
bisque.
4, minestrone. Sam said minestrone. Number 3, tomato. Often enjoyed
Tomato
with grilled
is
cheese
boring
sandwiches.
unless you add something to it because
Grilled
it's,
cheese
it's
sandwich.
runny.
Tomato being tomato basil. Number 2, chicken noodle soup. And the number 1 most popular winter soup, as Eric said, clam chowder, the white version.
Can't
Yes.
believe that.
Yeah.
What's the other version?
The red
The
one. I
red
said the
one.
Manhattan one is
I don't like
number
the red version.
8 on the list.
I never had that before.
Yeah, the
What
red.
do you got against the red?
I just know the tomato based clam
Yes.
chowder. I just cannot do it. In all the years I've been to any restaurant where they had both types, I've never once been there where somebody at my table said, "I'll take the red one."
Right.
There's no
It's
potato
always
soup on
the
there?
white one.
You guys are
Potato
missing out.
soup.
If I make it tonight, I'll bring it tomorrow, and
Yeah.
we can have like a try it Wednesday.
And I bet it'll
Okay.
taste even better tomorrow.
oh yeah, absolutely.
And actually,
So
clam
good,
chowder to
guys.
me, Eric, is almost like remove the clams and that is potato soup because
Yeah, it's
if you
the
got
same.
diced
It
potatoes
is,
in there,
absolutely.
it's almost like the
That's
Have
same.
y'all
literally
ever like
that's it. Just the jar,
experimented
yeah.
like the best thickest soup I've ever had in my life? It was actually in Germany, and it was a small bowl. I'm like, how's this going to fill me up? It was potato with cheese, beer, and butter. All the just, I guess they
Is
ran
it-
it in the processor or something, and it was like the most delicious thing I've ever eaten.
What's it called?
Huh.
I don't
Is it a
remember.
name?
I can't say all those
Heil
names.
Hitler soup.
Yeah, that's
That's disgusting.
Ryan went on his-
That is horrible.
Germany soup.
He loves Germany.
No, we're not going to put everything Germany
No, I-
with
that-
Hitler.
he was referring-
Even this morning,
However-
he goes, hey guys, you know it's colder here than Berlin. I'm like, man, you just
Oh, I was looking at my
you love
phone.
Germany, dude.
I was looking at my okay. Your phone. You go to the weather thing,
Yeah,
and
your
you
favorite
scroll.
cities.
No, you scroll to where all the places you've been. I'm like, oh, in Prague it's 33.
I do not
New York,
load
it's
in
30.
places that I've been into my weather because it has the actual. The first one you click on, it finds where you are and tells you the weather there.
So our location right here,
Well,
KRB,
wants to
is
see
He
what
just
is
wants to know
20.
where his home. You know,
His homeland is.
let's feel like at home.
His homeland.
My home is here.
Well, back to the warm
man.
soups. I hope you
Oxtail
enjoy
soup,
something
somebody
warm
said.
today. Ooh, I bet that's really good too.
he really likes like weird,
I like
oxtail
oxtail.
and lamb shanks.
I've had oxtail
Because
and
I'm-
it was decent. I just like I said, I don't really like meat. So
What-
I
what
You
all's
can
an
braise
oxtail?
it. It's an oxtail. It's an
oxtail.
actual
Legit.
oxtail.
Well, besides the tail.
And like you
Tail.
braise the meat.
don't you come
and
after
then
me
you
when
can
you
make
just
it with
ask what's an
different ways.
oxtail.
I know.
No, I mean
Yes,
like what all do you
yes.
put in it is what I'm saying. Obviously, it's not the
I got
ox's
a little
toes
tail in
or
it.
hoof.
When you get to work, it doesn't mean the Roula and Ryan show is over. Keep listening live on the KRBE app.
From the Bell
After Roula and Ryan's Roses, and we got so many texts where people had let us know that my man brought his mistress
To our house
Yeah.
for Christmas Eve.
You know what's sad? When Rilla says side piece, instead of thinking of cheating and stuff, I think of food.
Oh yeah, you're thinking of sides.
Side
Fries,
dish.
hush puppies. What is
Side
that?
dish.
Onion rings.
A side piece.
Give me some of those mashed potatoes. This is where we're going to ask you for your story. Luna does not have a story about her own relationship, but it is her mother and father's relationship.
Oh, that's
Hello,
painful.
Luna. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. You want to share with us the story of mom
Well,
and
God, I
dad?
sure hope so, Ryan. Otherwise, why was talking to her?
Yeah.
What if she goes, no, I really don't want to.
No,
I just want to tell you
She
guys
may
it's
not want
foggy
to, but we're
outside."
asking her to.
Luna, go ahead. You have the floor.
Okay, it's kind of sad because, I mean, at the time you can't cry about it, but now, I mean, just kind of laugh about it. It's just, what can you do? It happened. So my mom was pretty sick, and anyways, everybody was going to the hospital, and we always thought that my dad was always as I like to call, a functional alcoholic.
Okay.
So he would leave the hospital before everybody. We're always like, man, he's just going to the bar. I don't know. One time I decided to be like a detective, and my husband just joins in on my little charades, and I followed my dad, and he was just making out with this lady on the driveway. We get in a big old argument. I leave. My mom ends up passing maybe like 2 days later.
Oh, my God.
Yes. We end up having a funeral. Mind you, I know what she looks like.
Yes, because you saw them
She
kissing.
showed up at the funeral home with food.
With food.
Oh.
The mistress showed up to the funeral home with food.
What was your response? Did you kick her out through that food?
I truly believe that it's women's intuition, because I only told one other sister. I have 4 sisters. 2 of my sisters came in and said, "Is that beat?" They knew, and I didn't even tell them.
Oh,
they
wow.
just with sister intuition, and I was like, I was trying not to make a big old scene. It's my mom's funeral. I don't want to. No.
When you want to go up to him, like, who the hell do you think you are showing
I did.
up?
I was like, you need to get your stuff, and you need to get the F out of here.
You
like,
said that
you
to
need to leave.
Nice. And what did
And she was just looking at me, and she knew it was me. She knew I caught them the other day, and she looked at me and said, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Oh, man, she doubled down in the funeral home, and then what happened?
I hate people do that.
Exactly.
Lord.
So, long story short, I
punch this
can't
bitch.
believe. I cannot believe that we didn't end up on World Star, because pretty much one of my sisters escorted her out, and that's the one that didn't know. And she looked at me, and she looked at her, and she goes, "How do you know my mom?" She had the audacity. She said, "I don't know her." My sister stuck her in her face, and it was on at the funeral home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
What is Dad's reaction to all this?
Before that, Ryan, when she said, "I don't know your mom," did the sister, or what was her excuse for even being there? Then if she doesn't know the deceased, then why is this woman showing up? What was
that's where my sister knew, like, you're lying. Like, I know you know who you are, and you're disgraceful. And my sister just stuck her. It was bad. My other sister hit her. Like, it was bad.
Ooh, wow.
Oh my gosh! It threw down.
So Ryan was asking, what did your dad do?
How's Dad reacting? Yeah.
Dad ended up coming from the back of the funeral home. Mind you, he's only my dad. So my 3 sisters and my brother are from my first mom's marriage.
Okay.
I'm the only one biologically from my dad and my mom.
Oh.
Gotcha.
I looked at him and I was like, "What were you thinking?" Obviously, I'm crying. And he just had his head down. She ran to his truck, and they drove off in the sunset.
Oh, so your dad didn't even stay?
Your own dad, just bailed out?
Yes. So literal, that was
ever.
maybe what? That was 13 years ago in June. I mean, God is good. My husband has taught me forgiveness. I have a good relationship with my dad. I've forgiven him, and that's between him and God.
How long did it take to forgive?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was about maybe a year and a half. But my parents raised my 5-year-old pretty much, because I was always at work. So that was hard, because she didn't decipher. She no longer had my mom. She didn't understand why she couldn't see her grandpa.
Oh.
And is your dad still with that lady, or did that dissolve?
He's actually not. She was way younger than him. She left him in Laredo, and he had to call me and apologize and said that he was wrong.
So he did show remorse.
Yeah, he had to, because she
Yeah, she left him. Did the other sisters and brother, did they forgive him? Because that's not their biological dad, so they probably hated him more for
we
for
all
doing that
have
to the mom.
because we all have. They all have, because they're like, Mom would have wanted us like that. So now my dad is 72. He still comes around. I will say this: he is the best grandpa because that I could ever ask for. So he's literally healing that little girl that I needed to be healed through my daughter.
Did you think that your mom knew Dad was stepping out on her?
I think she knew. My mom wasn't really coherent anymore, but they always say your hearing is the last thing to go. I think she knew, and she was just she was tired, and I think that's what really she just said it was. She was ready to go.
Wow, I'm so sorry.
So I could say that now. I couldn't say that then, right?
Right. I know. Time's supposed to heal all things.
I would have loved to have seen that on World Star.
Good
At a funeral, put her head start hitting her with the coffin top.
Luna,
And there's a country song there. She left me in Laredo.
Double down.
Double
down
down
on the funeral.
should be on a T-shirt. Somebody texted.
That'd be the name of the song. Double down on the
Double
funeral.
down on the funeral.
Oh wow, Luna! Gosh, what a story!
And I'm telling you, the funeral director said, if y'all don't stop fighting, we're going to stop the funeral because your dad's paying for this. And that's when I pulled my sisters off. I'm like, we got to stop.
Yeah.
Like, we got to stop.
Gotta put someone else in the ground today.
Yeah.
I have never been to a funeral where there's a fist fight.
That is another
Damn.
topic alone. Like, who listening has been to a funeral where something like that happened? And we're going to get more than one story, but right now we're still focusing on the mistresses that have been invited to the things around the very one you're cheating with. Thank you so much for your call,
That's
Luna.
the worst. You feel so stupid when you find out. You're like, wait a minute. I was talking to that person. We're sharing egg salad recipes, and now I found out that was the person that was.
Before we
sleeping
get
with
to
my man.
Naomi's
feel
call on
stupid,
that
though.
note, exactly what you're saying, Eric, about being stupid, let me read this text because you know how fast they regenerate and I'm going to miss it. My boyfriend and I worked together in a restaurant as managers, and his mistress was my employee that I worked with every day. I was also pregnant with his baby, and I had a baby while the whole thing was happening. She would even ask how our relationship was going and asking how my pregnancy is going the whole time they were messing around.
She just wanted information.
That is sick.
yeah.
That is sick.
Covering her
That is
tracks.
sick because she knows every day that she's messing around that man. And everybody's like, how's it going? How's it? Oh my God.
Like, how
he's
could you
probably the
be
best
that other
dad."
person?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Dirtbag. You know, we made a joke earlier, like, it's the worst when you know before the other person knows. Then you're like, is this person ever going to know I'm the one?
No, it's the worst if you know it and then they
And
don't
they
know
don't
for
know it.
4 years
Or they're like, you're just not synced up on timeline.
Is it ever like a situation where it's like you don't really have that one moment? You just kind of slide into it, and then all of a sudden one day you realize, oh my God, I really am.
But I always feel
really
like
love
there is
this
something.
person.
No,
me.
But come on, Sam. If you really thought about it, there's gonna be something that he did.
Was there a trigger moment, or
No.
did it just gradually happen, and you realize?
Like my wife just
I
took
love
me
this
to
person.
my colonoscopy. We were
And
just
that's
dating.
when you realized you loved her.
And when I got my mole taken out, she was in that room. She helped me book the guy to take the mole.
Did they put you under for that?
For the mole, no, but for colonoscopy they did. But she drove me, and that's a lot of work to do that.
How many months were y'all dating when that happened?
Like not even a year, but we were on and off.
So there was a trigger moment where you're like,
But that's what I do. I
this
realize
is a loving
Interesting.
person. This is the one.
Because especially as you get older, you want somebody that's going to help you take care of you, right?
Right. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's
Each
all
other.
about in sickness and in
She was
health.
doing that from day one.
All that stuff. So, everybody has like a different thing.
And when I saw her boobs, too.
Oh, stop. I knew that was coming. Britt, you're up. Hi, Britt. Welcome to the Roula and Ryan Show. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
So first give us your background. Are you married? How many years are you married with this person that you knew was the one?
So we're getting married in October.
Nice.
We're not married yet.
Okay. When did you know this person was the one?
So it was the first time he ever put fuzzy socks on my feet because I was cold. He just kind of slipped them on, and I just had that moment of, oh my gosh, this is the person I want to put fuzzy socks on my feet for the rest of my life. Like, I love
The
it.
fuzzy socks?
Where's your drop, Ryan?
It was the fuzzy socks?
Oh, that?
You weren't even sick and he took it upon himself. It was just you were cold and he went and got the socks and put them on you.
He just went off and got some fuzzy socks and then just put them on me, and it was just immediate from there. I mean, he said I love you after the first day of dating, and I was like, whoa, hold on, bud. So 3 weeks later, he got the socks, and I'm like, yep, I'm done. Let's go.
Wow, how long ago was that? How long ago was that, Britt?
That was about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
you guys.
You knew that he just really cared about you.
Yeah.
The fuzzy
Do
socks.
you always have cold feet? In Houston, it's always hot here.
Yeah, but the inside's so cold.
Eric, I swear every woman has cold feet, and they all say, oh, warm me up, babe, and they put their freezing feet on you.
That's pretty nice because guys don't usually like feet. For him to actually put them on your feet. Is he a feet guy?
Well, we don't even get into
I
that.
promise no.
Somebody listening is, and they're loving this conversation.
Yep.
Britt, thank you so much for calling the show. Gabby next, asking, how did you know your person was the one?
Hi, how are y'all?
Great.
Awesome. Morning.
So the person you're about to tell us about, I'm assuming y'all are married, or y'all are about to get married, or just long time together. How long have y'all been together?
So we've been together, it'll be 10 years in April, and we got married 2 years ago.
Nice.
Okay, so that's a long time to be together before you got married. At what point did you think, oh my God, this is the guy I want to spend my life with?
So we started dating our senior year of high school, so that's why it was 10 years. but there was about 3 years into the relationship. It was during Mardi Gras in Louisiana, which if y'all have ever experienced it, you cannot get anywhere. Like you're
roadblocks,
nowhere.
There's everything's packed up, crazy for crowds.
Exactly. So I was struggling babysitting these kids. They were an absolute nightmare. And I had mentioned that I was really, really craving fried chicken from like this place in town. And it took him 3 hours to get there and bring it to us. But he surprised me by bringing me and the kids chicken for what was supposed to be lunch, but ended up being like dinner at like 3 o'clock.
Were they your kids, Gabby? Or
No, she said you used babysitting.
No,
Some
I was
kids,
babysitting.
right. Okay.
Yes.
That's right. So you knew when he took 3 hours to get chicken, you were craving it. He's the one.
That's pretty nice.
Because
he went into the storm, basically. You're driving into that huge crowd and trying to get something and bring it back 3 hours. That's
how good is it? What's the name of this chicken place? Must be some dang good chicken.
Honestly, I don't even remember the name of it. Wow. It closed down not long after that. I'm from like a small town in Louisiana. Like it was crazy, and he hates Mardi Gras. So like just the fact that like he went out to do this, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna marry you. And then about 4 years later is when he actually proposed.
Oh wow!
So wait, is that like one of those things where you knew but he didn't know yet? Like you're like, come on, when are you going to do this? Like
100%.
Okay, so when did he tell you? Like when, from your opinion, did he know you were the one? How much longer after you figured it out? Long time?
Honestly, I don't know.
Still waiting.
I'm like thinking about it. He put a lot of thought into the proposal, so I'm assuming probably around like year 6 or so is whenever he was like, yeah, okay, we can get married, we can do this.
Wait,
he always loved you, I'm sure.
One more question, Gabby. Sam and I said this earlier in the week. A lot of girls who've been proposed to, like you remember the whole thing, but you don't remember the actual words the man is telling you because the white noise comes in and you're like, oh my God, it's happening.
Focused on the ring.
Do you remember, Gabby, what your husband said to you when he proposed?
I actually do, because so the reason my husband and I got together is we started dating because he asked me to prom. And he did it with like this cute little... Yeah, so he did it with like this cute little whiteboard, and so whenever he asked me to marry him, so for the real proposal, he did it the same way that he asked me to prom, with like this little whiteboard.
That's cute.
That's
like
cute.
a promposal, a proposal. That's cute.
Yeah, basically. So he like kind of turned it around, and so like after I like saw the whiteboard, I turned around and he was like on his knee, and he's like, "Will you marry me?" And that was basically it.
Oh, that's sweet.
The Roula and Ryan Show fits in your purse.
Get in there. Not literally. We mean on your phone. Listen to KRBE live on the iHeart or TuneIn app.